Next methodology in Agile is Scrum. Scrum software development. Scrum is a type of Agile framework. It is a framework within which people can address complex adaptive problems while productivity and creativity of delivering product is at the highest possible values. Scrum uses iterative process. Iterative process means it goes on and on and on till you do not get the finished version, the finished completed version. Salient features of Scrum are: Scrum is a lightweight framework. We saw that Extreme was also lightweight. Scrum emphasizes on self-organization. So you can write here like Extreme programming. It emphasizes on self-organization. Scrum is simple to understand. Scrum framework helps the team to work together. So it will help the team to work together. So life cycle of Scrum, you have sprint, 2 weeks, 1 month, then you have sprint review, sprint retrospective, product backlog, sprint backlog, sprint planning meeting, product assigned feature to the sprint, release, sprint will be released. This is the life cycle of Scrum methodology. Scrum framework under Agile framework. So Scrum methodology under Agile framework. So Scrum software development. First is the sprint. A sprint is a time box of 1 month or less. So we have seen here it is 2 weeks to 1 month. So it is 1 month or less than 1 month. A new sprint starts immediately after completion of the previous sprint. Release. When the product is completed, it goes to the release state. So after the sprint is completed, it will go to the release state. Sprint review. If the product still has some non-achievable features, it will be checked in this stage and passed to the sprint retrospective stage. So if the sprint is ready, you release the sprint. If the sprint is not ready, that means there are some other features which have to be added, then you can pass it to the sprint review. You review the sprint and check if there are features missing which have to be added. From sprint review, it goes to the sprint retrospective. Sprint retrospective, in this stage, quality or status of the product is checked. How is the quality of the product and what is the status, at what point has the product reached. After that, you have product backlog. After that, product backlog. According to the prioritized features, the product is organized. Sprint backlog. Sprint backlog is divided into 2 parts. Product assigned features to the sprint and sprint planning meeting. So sprint backlog divided into 2. Product assigned features to the sprint and sprint planning meeting. And after sprint backlog, again there is a new sprint which is there. That means what happens now? Again a new cycle begins. So we saw here it is an iterative process, meaning the cycle goes and goes and goes on until you do not release the version. Once you release the version, the cycle will stop. So till you do not release the software, completed version of the software, the sprint procedure, life cycle of the Scrum will go on because it is a iterative process. We say it is an iterative process. It will continue till you do not get the final completed version of the software. So we say that it continues till software version is not final or is not completed. Advantages of using Scrum framework. Scrum framework is fast moving and money efficient. Scrum framework works by dividing the large product into small sub products. It's like a divide and conquer strategy. What do you mean by divide and conquer strategy? You divide a product into two parts. Okay, you divide a product into two parts, and once this individual part has completed its work, you again join the product up. So what you are doing, you are basically first you are dividing it into two parts. Let these two parts be completed, then you are again joining the two parts. So it is divide and then conquer. In Scrum, customer satisfaction is very important. Scrum is adaptive in nature because it has short sprint. As Scrum framework rely on constant feedback, therefore the quality of product increases in less amount of time. What are the disadvantages of using Scrum framework? Scrum framework do not allow changes into their sprint. Scrum framework is not fully described model. If you wanna adopt it, you need to fill in the framework with your own details like Extreme, Kanban, DSDM. It can be difficult for Scrum to plan, structure and organize a project that lacks a clear definition. The daily Scrum meetings and frequent reviews require substantial resources.